All right, so this one's about you, dear Gemini. That's you over here. This is Tarot Illumination, and it is your September 2019 report. We're going to do kind of a mixture. We'll have a little bit of the astrodoodle, and we'll come to the tarot in a little bit. I'm combining them because it's a richer, more full experience, and they enhance each other. Okay, I'm going to use the Tarot Illumination Crucible spread, which is specifically designed for relationship, on the understanding that there's you, a significant other, and a third entity that is the relationship itself. The reason I'm using that instead of the other spread that I like to use, which is the heart spread, which is kind of more personal, is that the vast majority of interest on the channel from viewers is regarding relationship and their own spiritual growth and evolution in the context of relationship, okay? And also that's partly because a lot of evolution and spiritual growth is most effectively learned and achieved in the context of relationship. So let me get to that in a minute. Here's just some basic information for the month, okay? I'm just going to focus on the yellow highlights here. Everything else, if you want any details, just check in with the description box below and we'll do something in private, okay? So we start off with the new moon of Virgo energy at the very tippy end of August, okay? Coming into September 1st, it's already, shifted by now, but it's still a huge stellium and it's going to impact you for the whole month, okay, Gemini? And then we move on to the middle of the month, okay, 13th and the 14th. We come to the full moon with the moon in Pisces, sun still in Virgo. And then towards the end of the month, we have the new moon in Libra, where things will be sweetening up for you a little bit. Libra is one of your harmonious signs. So from my perspective, this looks like a pretty challenging month, to be honest. I'll show you. Here's your astrodoodle. We're putting you on the horizon here, all right? So let me just check something. Oh, okay. So it's not a real chart. This is an agglomeration of things that I pick out. I cherry pick because it's a super hyper compressed way that I do things, and I share this with people in personal readings and so on. So there's you, all right, Gemini? And there's the house of significant other over here, the 7th house. You'll notice that Jupiter is now going direct, okay? So that should bring you some relief, all right? However, we still have this loose ongoing T-square all month long between the Sagittarius, the Pisces, and the Virgo energy. There's no escape from it. It's kind of a long-term pattern, and it's just been unrelentingly pounding on you. So if you've been feeling like chronic stress, chronic PTSD of some kind, that would be normal, okay? Now the thing is, it's going to be amplified, okay? This is why, look over here. This is where the stellium is, the new moon in Virgo, right at the very beginning of the month. And it's hitting you over here at the foundations of your chart, your profile, your identity, your 4th house, home, family, stability, safety, security, your foundations upon which everything else in your life is built, okay? And the opposite, of course, when we come to the full moon, is your 10th house of career, destiny, and your place in this world, achievement, recognition. So this might be, learning things through challenges, learning things the hard way. So you start off with new starts and new beginnings here. How exactly are you going to cleanse, refine, purify, and improve the habits and daily practices in your home, in your family, and your relationships there in such a way that it has a much more effective and valuable outcome in your so-called destiny? This is a very visible part of your chart. It's where everybody sees you and recognizes you for better or worse, okay? Especially when it comes to relationship dynamics. So please allow for that, all right? I'm not going to dwell on the rest of this stuff here. You can, you can ask if you need to, but for now, let's just go straight to the cards. Understand that you're under a lot of pressure, okay? You, Gemini, are under a lot of pressure from this thing here, pretty much all month. It's only going to ease up towards the end when you get the new moon in Libra. There might be some relief there for you. The sun will be in Libra in the 24th, but, I'm looking at the new moon as the real start here. That'll actually be fun for you, okay? So let's get on with it. You'll see in a minute what I was talking about with the crucible spread here. A crucible is a structure. It's a bowl type structure they use in laboratories in which they conduct very intense alchemical reactions, hoping that the crucible can withstand the reaction. It's just like what happens in human relationships. So what is the nature of your crucible, Gemini? You own this with someone else, okay? Is it fractured? Is it solid? Is it wobbly? Is it flexible? Is it leaky? Is it, let's say, harmonious? Is it conflicted? Well, we're going to find out. And from these situations, you can learn so much. Now, when I talk about relationship, I'm not just talking about your lovey-dovey ones. I'm talking about very significant chosen relationships in particular. Not so much like parents, not so much like siblings. I mean, it will cover that, but I'm talking about chosen relationships, or hopefully chosen relationships. Singles, you can watch this too if you want, because it gives you a bit of a heads up about like the what if scenario, like what's out there for me. Okay, so let's do this. Let's no jumpers, no flyers, no reversals, but we are going to have 2 oracles at the end. Okay, so I'll show you in a minute. Here we go. Bless this deck, bless every single card, bless you, Gemini. Thank you for being here. It's a real pleasure to do this for you and with you. Let's just say this is you. What are you radiating right now? Think of yourself like a smartphone, okay? You're transmitting and receiving energy. Same thing with a significant other over here. Deep down inside of you, deep down inside of the other, and at the core, the relationship thing that you own yourselves. Can you see the bold structure here? This is the bowl. This is the structure in which the relationship is conducted, okay? Well, and we'll see what this looks like. Over here, what is growing out of this? Think of this like a potted plant if you want. What is blossoming here? If you're conscious of all of this, then you'll be very aware of this, and you will do everything that you can to manage the relationship, okay? Rather than letting all this happen on autopilot. Now, again, if you think of this as a huge potted plant, then this is all surrounded by weather. You know, it could be your circumstances, your environment. I like to think of the planets in a dominant way. I call it the weather. Okay, so you have the 3 of Wands here. So to me, this feels like it's a really strong message that you're getting what you deserve. And it's like, well, it's a little bit of it's like, I told you so. I'm not going to be the one to say it personal. I'm not going to point at you and say, hey, Gemini, I told you so. I'm trying to do this in a very detached, impersonal way so that you see how, let's just say you understand some of this. And then you have a cold, stark look at it. Not cold, but just a very neutral, Zen perspective. And you look at it like it's just, okay, well, if this is how it is, then this is how it is. These planets are doing this, and this, and this, and this, and that does have an effect on me, the Gemini. So what now? What do we do with that? Everything that really, really sucks about this, so be it. Everything that's really good about this that you're learning through challenge, so be it, okay? It's a little bit karmic, all right? And it comes from like a maturation process, understanding like the seeds that you planted maybe weeks ago, months ago, maybe years ago, starting to come into your awareness and your vision and your landscape in front of you, okay? In ways that you might not have noticed before. Over here, what are you radiating? Okay, so to me, it feels like you're looking for some kind of divine ordinance, some kind of, almost like a divine intervention, where you might be feeling a lot of pressure to have to codify your life, to have to rewrite everything, to have to, let's say, throw out a lot of like redundant belief systems, protocols, standards, and reintroduce and make new ones that are much more, let's say, healthy for you, okay? Because the Virgo axis over here, the Virgo-Pisces axis in general is very much to do with health anyway. A lot of things over here in your 10th house that might not be working for you in terms of destiny, career, your life path, you know, coming out of school, coming out of college, coming out of retirement, coming into retirement, and so on, is directly impacted by your day-to-day habits at a very, very private level over here. What you do over here at this part of your life has a profound effect out there. So if you have like really messy habits or unreconciled, unhealed, untended habits over here, that's going to show up out here in the wider world. Like if you're not being appreciated or valued or understood or recognized properly, so be it. If things aren't working for you because you've been doing the homework, the cleansing, refining, the purifying, the taking care of your habits, improving your health, love thyself, and it's working for you, so be it. Now, another feeling here is that it's almost like you're looking for, it's almost like consolidation. To me, it feels like consolidation and validation that you really, really are who you are, because you might be getting so many stressors out there from around you, that big orange triangle. It might put you in a state of extreme self-doubt where you might be thinking, well, you know, where is the order in my life? Where is the structure? Where are the boundaries? Where are the codes? Am I living to someone else's code, or am I living to my code? Am I being authentic to me? And also might be an indication here that you would like to solidify and purify and sanctify a particular relationship, like make it formal, you know, in some way, shape, or another. I've got a bubble in my ear, sorry. If you're hearing weird sounds, popping sounds, I don't know why it's happening. All right, over here, what about the other? Okay, so we have another major arcana here. So it might, to me, it feels like the pressure is mounting so much that it almost feels like you don't really have control of the situation, and nor do they. So things are being swept along in what you could call fate. So for example, whoever is represented out here in this part of your life, like a spouse, a boyfriend, a girlfriend who is very formal, like you really love each other and you've made commitments to each other, business contracts, career contracts, commitments with very significant people that include shared resources, and it affects you at the foundations of your life. But how is that looking in your, you know, your career, in this very public arena over here? What's that looking like? And to me, it feels as though you're dealing with a significant other who is probably very challenged in themselves in this part of their life, and it's impacting you. And they're going along in such a way, to me, it almost feels like they're being swept along by their own fates, for better or worse. So it's not a good thing or a bad thing. All I'm suggesting is that the energies are earth, air, fire, and water here in terms of the astrology. They're always working for you. It's just you have to extract the value. For example, again, look back at this thing here. Even though this is a highly stressful alignment, there is a tremendous amount of spiritual growth and evolution that can be extracted from this if you're willing to do the work, okay? It's a lot of work, okay? It requires self-love, self-dedication, okay, to figure these things out, especially if it's happening in the context of a significant other who's swirling through their own life, okay? Ups and downs that impacts you. Perhaps this is a really, really good, fun, exciting thing. Perhaps it's very disorienting, kind of like being out in the middle of an ocean and being disoriented, like where's north, where's south, where are all these huge waves coming from? One minute you're up, one minute you're down. You are impacted by their own, let's say, karmic waves, which impacts your karmic journey, okay? So it's like being swept along together, okay? Deep down inside of you. Okay, let's get back to a little bit of innocence and calm down here. So with the Page of Cups, it's like you don't mean any harm. You don't want any harm to happen. All you're looking for is basically how to be more loving, how to be more loved. There's like, if you look at this, it's almost like, to me, this almost looks overwhelming, where these challenges here coming at you, this is a square, this is a square, this is an opposition, this is a T-square. It's all coming at you in a very stressful alignment, okay? So you might be feeling like the way the fates are treating you it's almost overwhelming. And deep down, all you really want is something very pure and very, very simple, and that works. And why can't I figure it out? Why can't I understand this? Why is it so complicated? Why does it have to be so hard? I've already been doing everything that I can to be the best Gemini that I could possibly be. And yet, I still face these challenges. I'm getting karmic consequences that I never even knew could possibly exist. And yet here they are. They're coming right at me. What am I doing wrong? What did I do wrong? How can I better be loving? How can I better be loved? What are these questions? My soul wants to know. Okay? Over here, deep down inside of the other. Okay, to me it looks like they're trying to squirm out of the situation as though it's not their fault. Like whatever is happening with you, Gemini, especially in the context of very significant relationships, their behavior is impacting you in such a way that could, to me it feels, leave you destabilized, where their struggles impact you. It's like, imagine like you're in a car on a road trip and it's just two of you. There's one, there's someone else, or even a minivan full of kids, friends, families, or whatever, going out for a weekend or barbecue or somewhere. And that's you, Gemini, over here, and you're trying to drive, okay? Hold on, let me check in with you guys. Hold on. Huh, I should have done this earlier. Hello, Gemini. This is Tarot Illumination. It's really hot here, excuse me. I'm working under multiple stage lights, and I can't use the air conditioning because it blasts out so much noise, so I can't do that. Anyway, I was trying to give this analogy about being on a road trip or something, and you're trying to do everything by the book. I'm being the best that I can. I'm doing that Hierophant thing. I've got it all mapped out. Everything's going to be just right. And then like the person next to you over here and the people back there, like one of them is like smoking weed, someone else is drinking, some kids are stuffing their faces with pizza and chicken wings or whatever, and it's going all over the place. Things are up and down, somebody's screaming and laughing with excitement, someone's having a hysterical like breakdown fit because of a boyfriend or a girlfriend relationship, and you're just trying to live your life like all I want to do is just get from A to B. I just want to love and be loved. Like, what's going on? That's the kind of energy that I'm feeling here, okay? Gosh, I hope that makes sense, Gemini. This looks like very slippery energy from the other party, the other parties. Very easy. They're just trying to do what they want to do for what works for them right now without really broader consideration or awareness of the hazards that they might be causing in the general environment here, in the relationship dynamic itself, in the crucible itself. They're just trying to get away with what they can because either they've done it before or they've never disciplined themselves, or they've never been disciplined in how to behave responsibly and most authentically and lovingly in relationship. So that leaves you in jeopardy. Duh. Like, why? Why is this happening? Why is this happening for me? Okay, let's have a look at the core here. Okay, so gosh, with the Four of Swords over here in this one, to me it looks like there's an awareness now. It's like coming to you in a stressful situation. It's coming through to you through the challenge of love and relationship, okay? Especially over here, your home, your family, your siblings, your parents, your nieces, nephews, and everybody where you live. And even if you're a bachelor or a bachelorette, you're impacted by neighbors, okay, neighborhoods. And over here, my feeling is that you're starting to see this on a very, very vivid scale about everything that's not working for you. Like the Virgo stellium in itself means no harm. It's an amazing, beautiful thing. It's a huge, powerful alignment of Virgo energy. It's just that it's in sacred geometry alignments that are kind of confounding to all the awesomeness here. So it puts, to me, that's why I'm getting the storyline that I'm feeling here. And so with the Four of Swords, my feeling is that This Four of Swords is referring to this area here in your life where you're realizing you need some serious healing. You need a serious break. You need to realize that in order for you to continue and move on in a healthy way and to get the degree of order and structure that you would like, you're going to have to face the realities that there's a lot of disorder, a lot of chaos, a lot of dysfunction here that needs reconciling, cleansing, clarifying, purifying, refining, like really, really identifying habits and practices that don't work and then healing them, especially when it comes to the context of relationship. Because otherwise you get left in this situation like you realize, that in the story I was talking about the van, it's just like, oh my gosh, that's my life every day. No wonder I'm freaking out. No wonder I want order. No wonder I feel so innocent and almost like please God help me, because I don't have any idea what's going on. I just want to love and be loved. And it's almost like it's too much pressure. So you're realizing here that you, significant others, and the relationship dynamics at the very core foundations of your life, they need like a timeout, a deliberate focus on healing, where it's in other words, you basically you pull over to the side of the road and you get out of the minivan and you just tell everybody, listen, you guys scream and yell as much as you want. I need a break, and I'll be back in a little while. Okay, let them do whatever they want to do. You need to take a break. You need to heal yourself from within, even though the chances are you're going to go straight back into whatever's not working. And it might have to be done many, many, many times over in little incremental scales in order to heal these situations, so that you're not so vulnerable to the ups and downs and the, let's say, unpredictability and the slippery slopes and behaviors that happen in the actions of other people. Some of it might be deliberate. Some people might actually be deliberately trying to get away with whatever they can because they see an opening, they see cracks in your situation. Some people are doing it, automatically. Some people are just naturally spiritually lazy, for example, and they will always try and find a way to take the shortcut in love, life, and relationship. And that puts a burden on everybody else. What's fermenting here? Okay, so we've got Judgment. So you've got a lot of really big cards here in very significant places. So it's like, this almost looks like to me screaming, get me out of here. Get me the bleep out of here. I don't know if I can take this anymore. The other side of it is the healing that comes with this. Deliberately releasing yourself, knowing that you need healing, knowing that you need to deliberately take time out for yourself in order to heal yourself, because if you don't, you're useless to your loved ones, to everyone else, to your career, to life and everything. Okay? Hold on. Let me just, I dropped my board. Okay, what I'm referring to again is this thing. Like, in other words, if you don't take care of all this stuff here that's out of whack, which is going to be vividly exposed early in the month and will come to fuller culmination understanding by the middle of the month. If you don't take care of this, then it's just going to get worse. It's going to compound and just get worse. So this is like a really important alert. Like, when you do take care of this, especially, I talk about love thyself. If you have to sequester yourself, set yourself aside from everybody and everything else, and make that a deliberate decision, which will have outcomes. In other words, let's go back to the minivan analogy. If we're doing that and you just say, no, you know what? That's it. That's it. I'm not going to be a chauffeur anymore. I'm going to take care of my own business. I got to get my own stuff together. Otherwise, I'm useless for me, which means I'm useless for you and you and you and everybody else. I need redemption. I need forgiveness. I need you guys to forgive me for loving myself and putting myself in a position where I can redeem myself, start from scratch, have some new beginnings. Virgo, new moon, hint, hint, in that part of my life. And let's make a deal. You forgive me, I will forgive you, okay? And we'll press the reset button. We still have Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto retrograde all month. Saturn is going direct, so that might be feeling like a little bit of relief for you in a very kind of subtle, indirect way. But for now, the way this looks to me is that what's happening is that there's a realization that you're the only one who can redeem yourself, liberate yourself, heal yourself, okay? Heal thyself, okay? Because it doesn't look to me like anyone's going to give you the opportunity to do that. You're going to have to take it and own it, and whatever they can't handle, that's their problem, okay? Have you ever heard of this expression? I learned this one from my brother, who got it from somewhere else. SEP, someone else's problem, okay? So my feeling is that you have to go back to being Gemini, the individual, and looking around you, assessing and evaluating everything that's out there, okay? Look at that orange triangle that I showed you, and realizing like, okay, this is, let's just say, awkward at best. I'm the Gemini. I need to recalibrate, reformat, restructure. I can't do that without, let's say, retreating, without disconnecting. In other words, like, rebooting a computer. You can't reboot and reformat a computer without rebooting and reformatting. You can't just sit there and go, I'll just, look at the button and hope it fixes itself. It doesn't really work like that. You actually have to stop everything else that you're doing. You have to literally shut everything down, then do the reboots and then the reformats, and then come back up again. That's the sort of story that I'm sensing here, okay? So let's leave it simple and wide like that. I'm not going to say much more. To me, this looks like it's really, really up and down. You're just trying to keep your act together. I just want to get my act together. But there's a lot of this going on over here, and it's affecting you. It's impacting you in such a way where it's basically like, enough. I'm out. And they're like, oh, wait a minute. What about us? What about me? I need this. I want that. And I want that. And want that. Like, where are they? It's not your problem anymore, Gemini. You need to take care of number one right now. Love thyself. And whatever they can't handle, that's their problem. It's someone else's problem. Someone else, okay? Let them deal with their own stuff, okay? So let's put this over here. I'm going to pull an oracle for you, the Romance Angels, because relationships are a very highly dominant theme on the channel. Just trust the process, and we'll pull a card for you, and we'll just read from the book. And so whatever it says, just add it as a little bit of nuance, a bit of color to help you, all right? This is your card. It says here, you deserve love, okay? You are lovable, in case you're having any doubts, okay? Okay, can you see her over here? Hold on, I'm just trying to get out of the way of the lights. Okay, she's got her 1, 2, 3, 4 romance angels who are trying to give her the courage to like be who she really is here, to be who you really are, even forget the gender. Let's read from the book. She's poised to release an arrow from her bow in a very kind of turbulent environment. There's a lot of turbulence going on over here. There's a lot of turbulence going on over here. So it looks to me like she's trying to pluck up the courage to do what she has to do under extreme doubt. Okay, it says here, the romance angels are cheering you on in your quest for great love by letting you know that you deserve it. As a child of God, you're naturally a loving and lovable person, as is everyone. You have the right to be treated with kindness and respect by everyone in your life. If you've had harsh life experiences, you may have blamed yourself and felt yourself unworthy of receiving affection. This card is a reassurance that you do deserve it. You deserve affection, okay? You are a beautiful being of God's pure love and light. no matter what any person has said or done to you, and no matter what happened in the past. God's handiwork can never be undone. The more you affirm, I am lovable, I am loved, I am loving, the more this experience comes true for you. You know, I do that a lot on the channel anyway. Well, not so much recently, but I am loving, I am loved. I am loving, I am loved. I do it like this. This is what I do in my morning healing practice. I am loving, I am loved. 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 Okay. It's an exercise, and you're actually brainwashing yourself. I know. It's crazy, right? Affirmations help you believe spiritual truths at a deep unconscious level. This in turn allows you to attract loving people, relationships, and circumstances. You are definitely deserving of that, okay? So it is like conditioning. So many of us are, carrying childhood conditioning that are redundant or dysfunctional or actually unhealthy for us. And so it's your responsibility to reformat and recondition yourself. No one's going to do it for you. You have to give yourself permission. You have to release yourself. You have to say, I am worthy. I am deserving. I am open to receive. I am ready. I am willing. I am able to receive love, the healing power of love. Healing in my life, okay? I deserve it. I deserve it. I know I do. I know I do. All right? So let's put this over here. I'm going to pull something from Nature's Whispers because we have a huge alignment of earth signs with the Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus energy right now. But I'm not going to that in this reading. I'm just going to pull this one oracle because that is a big fat green triangle. You probably saw it on the chart there. And that is harmonious for you, but in very different aspects of your life, okay? This is Nature's Whispers. She's an amazing artist, okay? Like digital artist. You know, some of the decks are made by hand. This is more kind of like digital art. Let's see what the story is for you. I'm going to pull one card in just a second, just like we did here. Oh, look at that. Whoa. Maintain your childlike spirit. Okay, Gemini, look. Can you see her, this person, on the swing here in this magical forest? There's really no up. There's no down. It looks like there's trees and things over here, but there's water over here. There's clouds. There's rain. There's plants. There's a horizon over here. There's a bunny rabbit over here. She's like swirling back and forth. There's a big tunnel over here. Let's just read. Okay, let's just read what it says. Gosh, it's a beautiful card. Hold on, I just had it. Okay, it says here. Oh, sorry, I got the wrong page. Damn. Excuse me. Maintain your childlike spirit. Nature holds all aspects of light. This light is the same brilliant light that shines out of every child while they are still in touch with the magic of the world and nature. Find the innocence of your childhood light within you and reconnect with it. This light represents your virtue and holds the memory of perfect trust, fearlessness in others, and total self-reliance. It will allow you to see the world with the eyes of a child. You will be excited to learn new things every day. How much happier our world would be if everyone reconnected to his or her purest essence. That's a strong message for you, okay? It might be feeling like, well, how am I supposed to do that to illumination? Just because you're saying so. Well, you have to make a decision. The healing power of your decisions, okay? You can do that. You can do this, okay, Gemini? You can handle it, all right? I'm going to check out with you. Wow, so I hope that works. I hope we can get some value for you out of this month, okay? let's just face it, it's probably going to be quite challenging. It will shift towards the end when the sun and other planets move into Libra, but for now, you might just be struggling with this thing that I was talking about earlier, just trying to keep your life going as you go through this month. You can do it, okay? But you have to make conscious, deliberate decisions to love thyself, even if it means retreating, retracting, and claiming some me time. Well, it's you time. So you can like disconnect, unplug everything, and just, put earplugs in, put eye masks on, go somewhere in a state of serene silence and bliss. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, if you can do that, maybe for a few days a week, or even for, the whole of the lunar cycle, it could work wonders for you. Gemini, sometimes you get so like fired up. How to calm down that energy again? Just think about it, okay? All right. Take care, Gemini. It's been a real pleasure. All the best. Check out the links below. Please become a member. That's the most important thing you guys can do, is become a member. All right, bye-bye.